Alright guys, so we're back building a bit more of the Bricklink Designer Program Series 2 set Brick Cross Station. So we got to and completed bag 8 last time, so I've just started on bag 9 now. So it's a couple of small bags. I did in the sort of background, well, sort of off camera anyway, I switched out the base plates that were in this set. So there's two base plates, a 32 by 32 and a 32 by 16. So I actually switched them both out for plates. Slightly different colour, which is a bit annoying, but just some 16 by 16 plates that I got here from Lego, and then with this 32 by 32 plate, which I got from Strictly Bricks. So, hey Aziza, how's things? Thanks for tuning in. How are you? So yeah, I swapped out the base plate anyway, just so that I can sort of get it onto the plates that I wanted it on. I'm going to sort of build all my buildings onto sort of a Mills variant, but rather than have a base plate on the bottom, I'm going to have a plate. So, Nazil, how are you? Thanks for tuning in. So yeah, I swapped it over in the background. It was not as painful as I thought it was going to be. I managed to strip the plates off with just a few of the tiles sort of left on, so I didn't do too bad. So it was a fairly quick changeover. Yeah, I don't know. I think I may have lost a piece actually, which is a touch annoying, but hey ho. So oh, very good. I'm not French. I don't know much. Une petite. Nah, not even gonna go there. Yeah. My sister was a French teacher, for what it's worth, but I speak very little French. But how's things in France? So first up here on this bag we have wee minifigure. So it's just a little lady then, so a little lady tourist. I'll just show you her now in a wee second. She's quite nice. She's got a lovely little flowery blouse on, and a nice little blue jacket. I don't know where that is compared to the camera, but I hope you can see that okay. Maybe try and get it a bit closer. So that's the latest little lady that's going into the layers. That's cool. Hey, Vishwajitsin Harmer. Sorry, I've absolutely butchered your name. I'm so sorry. Thank you very much. Yes, I have a lot of Lego anyway, that's for sure. This is a set that I absolutely love. I've been down to build this one for some time. Guys, anyone that's tuned in as well, I am about to start a new series. I sort of got inspired by another YouTuber where I'm going to build a set, one sort of every day, adding the number of pieces relative to the number of subscribers I get. So at the minute I've actually put just I've done a short with 3 sets I'm trying to choose from. I'm kind of putting it up to user vote, so it's not got a huge amount of interaction thus far. So if anyone would like to go and check out that short and just comment in the comments there what they'd like to see built, then that would be wicked. 3 really good sets that I'm really keen to sort of crack on with. So and when you're there, why not give us a wee sub, and that'll be some pieces then that I can add on whenever I actually start the build. Alright, so we're just sort of starting on the wee canopy then that runs over the platform. Aziza, what, do you have much Lego yourself? Do you build? Okay, I need to find a plate from somewhere. It's going to be in one of the other bags. I bet it's not this one. Yeah, so for anyone tuning in, this is Brick Cross Station then. So this is one of the Bricklink Designer project sets. from the second series of First Night Designer program. So this was set number 910034. It was designed by Marcus Garavelli. It's a very neat set, and it's one that I sort of want to get built and get into my future layout. It's just one of the little sort of local stations joining the layout up. So yeah, it is a really cool set. It's fantastic build. I've really enjoyed it so far. So we've been going now for a few streams of this, and we're, I don't know, maybe about a third of the way through it. And I'm really enjoying it so far, to be honest with you. Something's not quite right here though. I don't know, I think this might be the one I've stuck over these base plates. I don't know if I've quite got the 32x32 one fully pressed down. It's quite hard to sort of get it all connected. It's bending up a wee bit, which is quite annoying, but hopefully I'll be able to sort that out. Alright, I'm still missing a piece. There's a, it sort of looks like a 6x12 plate in Doctor's grey. It must be in another bag somewhere. Just bear with me while I do a bit of looking here. We got it. Sitting loose in the bag. How's everybody keeping anyway? All good? It was your first day of the week. Got any builds going on at the minute, or anything that just started or just finished? I've actually been building quite a bit this last few nights. Also smaller sets. So I built the Luxo Junior Pixar lamp, which was really cool. I built the Mini Orchid, which is a lovely wee set. I actually posted about it on my Instagram. So I had actually displayed it so nicely, so I just stuck it up on a wee shelf, which is really cool. I'm just very keen to get this set finished though, because I've been building it for quite some time, and I just really want to get it sort of building up into my sort of layout room. Okay, where are we at? Still struggling with these digital instructions. I'm not a huge fan of them. I struggle to sort of find my way through them and to actually see what I'm doing here. It's all a bit small. I'm having to sort of crumple it all into the side of the screen, but we'll manage. Right, so I think we're sort of getting started on kind of like the little section that runs over the back of the rear platform. That doesn't look right. I'm missing something here. There are different pieces. For anyone just tuning in, drop a wee in the comments. Let me know how you're getting on. Thank you very much for tuning in. Guys, if anyone doesn't subscribe, give us a wee sub and go on check out some of my vids. I've got quite a few unboxing videos if anyone's interested in that. So I just fairly recently anyway, completed the sort of a house build, and I had it on my I had all my Lego in storage in boxes, and I've just kind of been unboxing my way through it, you know, just going through the collection, getting everything back out again, see what I have. So I've just kind of been taking people on that wee journey with me. So definitely check it out if you wanna sort of get a wee insight into my collection. And lots of amazing sets are from all sorts of themes and from all over the ages. Quite a few actually that I'm probably gonna think about moving on. I've sort of decided I wanna refine my collection a little bit and clear out quite a bit. There's a lot of stuff that I've kind of lost interest in that I had been collecting and just have no particular desire anymore. I have a lot of Harry Potter Lego and stuff like that. Sorry to all the Harry Potter fans out there, but it's just not really resonating with me anymore, and I'm just about ready to sort of get rid of all that. So but yeah, if you want to have a wee look and see kind of what sets I've been sort of stocking up in my collection anyway, then drop on over, have a look at those heads. And as I said, I'm ready to start a new little series where I'm going to sort of build a set. Across the days, every new subscriber I get is an extra piece that I'll add on. So hopefully I can get a few subs and I can actually get the set built. But again, I've just a little short about that where I'm trying to, I'm not short there, I'm trying to choose what set I'm going to build. So, you know, please swing on over and help me out. Anyone building anything at the minute themselves? Or what have we been up to? I've actually just been sort of enjoying the holidays and just sort of hanging out. My wife actually, who wouldn't really be much of a Lego builder, has actually started building a set herself, which is quite interesting. So we sat down last night, I was watching the United match, and I was building the mini orchid from the botanical line, which is a gorgeous little set actually. And my wife started building the 100 Acre Woods Winnie the Pooh set, which I thought was quite cool. So the Lego is kind of infiltrating the rest of the family now. But yeah, what's everybody else got on their build tables at the minute? That's quite nice. All those colours are like that sort of aqua green, whatever colour it is, turquoise. It's really nice. Yeah, so this is just a lovely little actually I'll just let you see it here. We're sort of covering this going over the platform here, so you can see we've got these lovely turquoise arches and they just sort of come up here, and we've got these sort of inverted sloped tile pieces in black and turquoise then that just sort of help form the covering over the platform, so it's really nice. Alright, what's up next? Just start building up around this side of the little side building here. Yeah, it's really annoying this here. Like I said earlier, I swapped out the base plates that were sort of on the bottom of this set for plates. I was going to just use Lego plates, use the 16 by 16 Lego plates, but there's a company called Strictly Bricks rather, who produce 32 by 32 plates, and they're much better value than sort of the equivalent in Lego 16 by 16 plates. So I put one of them on the bottom, but it's really bowing, which I don't like. Now, it might just be because it's not incredibly well connected, because I did start the build on the base plates, and then I sort of stripped them off and put it all onto the plates instead. And it was quite hard to get them sort of fully depressed, and Strictly Bricks, I'm really struggling with the speaker, it doesn't quite touch as well as Lego. They are really good though. I highly recommend them if you're looking at a sort of more cost effective way to sort of plate up your city or your buildings. But I don't know, it's just kind of bowing a little bit on me here, and I'm sort of contemplating should I maybe strip it back off again. I've loads more of the 16 by 16 dark bluish grey plates from Lego that I got in a recent pick-a-brick order, and I don't know if maybe they'd be better on there, but we'll see. Oh How's everyone anyway? Everybody keeping well? Thanks for everyone that's just joined in. In case you're wondering, we are building a Bricklink designer program set. For any who's not familiar, it's like a crowdfunding sort of project run by Bricklink, where designers submit sets and then they sort of get put forward for a selection process, and then eventually a number of them are made available for crowdfunding and sold sort of directly through Bricklink and Lego. Only so many of these sets get produced, so there's a hint of exclusivity to it. So this is one of the earlier series. This is from series 2. I think we've maybe got up to 5 now. Series 5 is shipped, or 4 have shipped anyway. I can't quite remember, but cool. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. But this is one of the earlier ones, and again, I love sort of anything Lego train related. So couldn't really turn my nose up at this because I like the Lego City stuff, but it's obviously more designed with playability in mind, and it doesn't quite scratch my itch when it comes to sort of decent railway builds. So yeah, I picked this up quite some time ago, and I've kind of just been sitting on it for a while, as with most of my Lego, to be honest. But I thought, now that I've kind of got the foundations of tables and stuff into my layout for into my Lego room for building the layout on, I thought it would be a good idea maybe just to start building up some of the railway related buildings, because they're going to then form sort of a key part in joining up all the little areas of my layout whenever I get around to building it. So I did sort of speak about this very briefly in a previous build stream, but I kind of want to have several little towns or villages, if you will, around the layout, and sort of one larger kind of city in the middle. And I would like to have a rail network throughout, and obviously then the trains or the stations will then kind of form sort of hubs in each of the little areas that connect them all up. So that's kind of what I'm up to anyway. Okay, we're just putting the wee roof then onto the little shop on the side. I think, as I said previously, because these are Bricklink designer, they're not they can't be built in a modular fashion similar to Lego modular. So the actual roofs themselves don't come off, they're sort of firmly connected on. But in order to provide access into this little shop here, we've got a nice hinged wall which opens and closes, so you can just get into the little shop there. So you can see the little lady in there with the sort of drinks and whatnot. So that's sort of a neat way to get around kind of the restrictions that are put in place for these sets. I wouldn't say it takes away much from it. It's still a really nice build, and you know, I think, well, for me in particular, I'm not buying this to play with it, so to speak. So I'm kind of just happy that it looks nice. But that added functionality definitely sort of goes a long way to sort of making the set that a little bit more accessible for people that want to maybe sort of be a bit more hands-on and playful with it. I also love the use of all these pearlescent gold pieces. They're so nice. Right. What have we got here? That goes in like that and hooks on there. How's everyone anyway that's tuned in? Feel free to drop us a hello in the chat. Let us know what you're up to. Especially if you've got any cool builds or anything on the go. I'm always sort of intrigued to see what other people are sort of building up to. There's sort of a lot of themes in particular that I have no real interest in, and I sort of like the look of them, so it's always kind of nice to sort of hear from people that are building stuff, especially things like Ninjago and things like that. So I think we're just building the it's like sort of a gated door entrance into this building, so I think we're just working on that at the minute. I've done something wrong, typically. Of course we have, right? Turkey's back right then, start again. And it goes like that. There we go. And the same on this side. Did anybody pick up anything from the 1st of August Lego release? I got sort of caught out a little bit. I was really looking for it. I really wanted the, I'm not into Fortnite, but I just really like the brickheads. And I really wanted to get my hands on the double brickhead pack, but there's only really one set in the August launch that I'm really that keen on getting, and it's the Italian Riviera, and I had completely missed the fact that it doesn't actually come out until I think it's maybe the 8th of August, which just so happens to be my wedding anniversary, so maybe I could have a wee word with my wife to see if she'd pick that up for me as a wee wedding anniversary present. Highly unlikely, but I've only asked. But yeah, so I had I've been hoping to pick that up, and yeah, I was kind of caught out by the fact it doesn't release until later in the month, so there was nothing really that I wanted from the launch, so I couldn't really justify spending the money just to get the gift of purchase. I suppose I could pick it up in the secondary market. I saw quite a few of them on Facebook Marketplace, but I don't know, I like getting those things as a little free add-on. Brixton Knott, hey, how are you? Hope you're good. I'm really well, thank you. Building Lego, so what more do you want? How are you keeping yourself? You good? Oh, these are for your happy days, that's good to hear. Right, there we go, doors on. How's what does Monday hold for you? Building anything at the minute, or? Right, oh, the lady's just leaving then, so these are interesting gates, quite like them. There's funny little functionality on them. The way they kind of bend in and out on those little kind of got the wee droid arms, sort of as connectors, and they kind of spin around nicely, which is quite cool. So I don't know if you'll be able to see this terribly well or not, but that's the little doors there then, so you can just see they sort of got a few different sort of layers of articulation there, which is quite cool. And then that just allows a wee stud placement then for a passenger to be coming in and out of the station. So that's pretty cool. Hey, Anakin Skywalker, that's a really cool set. I do have it somewhere in my backlog. I've actually picked up. I'm not massively into the Lego Marvel sets. Generally speaking, I don't dislike them. It's just not something to collect. But I love those sort of larger scale, kind of more city building modular style ones. So yeah, it's absolutely one of my favorites. Actually, it's such a good set. I really like it, and I'm looking forward to building it at some point. No, I don't really do Star Wars either. I'm one of those people. I love Star Wars, but I just sort of have to be a bit selective about the themes that I buy. I do buy a lot of Lego, or I used to buy a lot of Lego. I'm probably sort of chilling a little bit in that front now, but I used to buy an awful lot of Lego, and I still buy a bit. But I now try to just stick with with sets that I can kind of incorporate into my layout. So I did pick up the Mos Eisley Cantina just before it retired actually, but I'm not really sure why. Again, it's a nice big build. I really like the look of it, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure that I'll ever build it or do anything with it. I don't know. I'll maybe sell that one on at some point. But yeah, it's a big theme as well. I'm a wee bit of a completionist, and if I start buying stuff, I'll kind of want to buy it all, and it can get a bit ridiculous, really. I presume from your your name that you're a Star Wars fan as well. Then, how far are you through the Daily Bugle? Have you got much of a build? Guys, anyone that's just tuning in as well, if you want to help me out a little bit, aside obviously subscribing, that'd be great. But I've just put up a short very recently there where I'm trying to choose from a few different sets to build build sort of across however long it takes. My intention being for every subscriber I get, I'll build one piece. So based on the current rate, I can be building it for a long time. But I have to choose one of 3 sets. So if well, it's in the short anyway. If you want to go over and have a wee watch it out, you can choose down below. But it's the Hocus Pocus set, the Lego Icons Medieval Town Square, and then the Lego Ideas Dungeons and Dragons set. So yeah, I don't know which one is going to come out. I know which one I want, but I don't want to let that sort of influence at all. Bag 617, second floor. Oh, you're getting on well then. Yeah, like I said, I have it. I will build it. I don't know if I'm going to build it with all the sort of action scenes built into it. I know they sort of add a lot of interest to it, and definitely probably make the build, you could argue, but I just don't know how well that will fit in with kind of my layout when I get around to building it. I do kind of want to sort of approach things semi-real. So I don't know, we'll see. It's a very, very cool set. I do love it. I can't wait to build it actually. Although I think I'm more excited to build the well, I've done something wrong here. Yeah, I'm more excited I think to build the Avengers Tower. I think of the 2, I really love it as well. I just love the scale of them too. They're so big. They're so cool. And then the minifigures are amazing. Do you own any of the UCS Star Wars sets, Anakin, or I presume you collect Star Wars as well? No, I generally try to stick now with, like I said, sets that kind of just fit into a layout. So like a building, a modular style building, or even if it's, something a little bit smaller that I can maybe sort of mock up a little bit and do something exciting with it. But yeah, Daily Bugle will be class when I get around to that. We're just adding some little bits of greenery on here to the side of the, just the up sort of edge of the sort of balcony section above the platform. Just add a wee splash of colour and a bit of interest. I find it so hard with these digital instructions. I know I've said this over and over again. I feel like a bit of a broken record. But I just find it slows me up so much. And I don't particularly enjoy this much, but I tend to be a very, very quick builder. And what did I wrong here? Yeah, I can be a very quick builder, but I really struggle with these digital instructions. I don't know Don't know if they're quite for me, to be honest. But yeah, the guys that have designed these sets have come up with some awesome designs. And there's so much sort of creativity and life in them too, you know, they're not sort of just boring, bland kind of buildings. They're really interesting. There's a lot going on, and they're sort of very well thought out. I think that's what makes them so appealing, to be honest. Okay, I'm nearly done with this little plant. Right, what have I done wrong here? I need to zoom in these instructions to see what I'm doing here. Something's not quite adding up. Right, I think it's that. There we go. That's it. And where does that go? I'm really not following this terribly well at all. I don't really get how this is attached here. What am I missing? Struggling this one a wee bit. Oh, I think it just goes on like that there. Okay, there we go. I think that's it now. So that's quite a busy little sort of canopy of greenery there just above the station. Hanging down quite far too, actually. I haven't put that on the wrong way around. Because the station master's getting a nice chunk of greenery in his head. Right, okay. And just a wee bit of plating to do then across the top here. Just to tidy up the fencing. And a nice wee bit of detail in the middle. Just one of those little pyramid pieces. Anyone that's just joining in, hi, how are you? Thank you very much. How's everyone doing? I'll be back in a sec. I'm here, I'm just on a video here. He's just dropping. Olivia?
Yes, sir?
You're running Granda there. Sorry, it's just my mum and dad have actually just come around to the house, so I just had to go say hello. Right, now back to the building. There we go, that's another bag done. So we're on the bag 10 now. Getting pretty above nicely. A few more wee spare pieces in to set aside. So I can't remember how many bags there are. I think there's roughly about 20 numbered in total, so we're probably approaching the halfway point. I think I'll probably do this bag 10 and a nice sort of wrap it up there. Right, okay, so what are we doing here then? So we're just adding on to this side of the building. I'm not actually sure what sort of goes on top here, so I think it's maybe sort of like a concourse in the station itself. There's just a wee doorway at the back here, so I think from what I can tell, there's a little walkway then from the top on this side that leads the whole way around to the top of the little restaurant that's on the other side, so it'll probably take shape as we sort of get through the build and that'll make a bit more sense. For anyone just tuning in, we are just continuing with our build of the Bricklink Designer Program set 910034. So this is from the Series 2 of the Bricklink Designer Program. And we are up to bag 10, so we're not far off the halfway mark in the build now. You can see here that the station's starting to take shape nicely. We've got a lot of the sort of bottom layer done now. And we're just kind of working our way sort of up into the top floor now. So anyone just tuning in, make sure to say hello in the chat. Introduce yourself, let us know how you're getting on. Okay, so just some little bit of detailing going on here then. I actually thought I'd missed a piece off there, but now that I've got a little bit further up. Nancy, what's your idea of a retro build? I don't really like a lot of the older stuff, to be honest. So the problem I have is I'm not really a huge fan of castle or space, and let's be honest, they're probably the most prominent themes kind of in that era in Pirates. I do have a few of the older Lego trains. In fact, the sort of my pride and joy in my collection is the Metroliner. And that's not quite 80s, but it's early 90s, if that counts. You're obviously not a fan at all of your builds, are you? Sort of appreciate sometimes the simplicity of the sort of older sets. Sort of made them a lot more appealing. You know, there's just the level of detail that the designers were able to get in without very much. Now there's just so many different types of bricks and so forth. Electric cars. Okay. I don't have an electric car, but here I'll probably tick the boxes when it comes to cars. I drive a 21-year-old car. If that sort of resonates. Hey Brick Tours, how are you? No, I get that. But here, isn't it great that we're all a wee bit different? I like a lot of the older trains, I must admit. I'd be very, very keen and have a real soft spot for some of the older trains and stuff, but I actually got rid of a lot of my older Lego sort of when I started buying the newer stuff, just to sort of help me realise funds, so I could pick up a few more. I'm kind of buying more with the intention of creating a layout, and I just like the level of creativity that sort of what's produced now sort of affords you. But no, I don't know Fred Didnar. Who's he now? Is he a YouTuber? Hey Danny Byrne, how's things? That's cool pictures. When do you expect to find out? When do you think you'll get in? it is opening after the 15th of August. In fact, it is almost certainly opening on the 28th or 29th specifically. The preview evening is on Wednesday the 27th. I would expect it'll open then either the next day or the day after that. Nancy, if you're still there, who is Fred Dibnor? Or is anybody else? Oh, I love real world trains, and I do quite enjoy model railroads as well. I don't build or partake myself. I just enjoy watching people sort of doing that stuff. So my sort of designs for my layout are to have a sort of layout heavily revolving around trains. Sorry, I'm just a bit distracted here when I'm building. Yeah, so I'm gonna have a railroad that runs around my entire layout. And that's kind of the foundation of what I'm going to do and what I want to do. So I suppose that's sort of loosely based on sort of my sort of enjoyment of model railroading, but like generally speaking, or Lego specific, I'm not an enormous fan of the newer ones, to be honest. Especially the sort of Lego City Line ones, but I do enjoy. You must be a fan of the Emerald Knight then, from a Lego train perspective. 28 or 29, yes. I don't know specifically which one it's going to be. I'm really hoping it's the 29th because I don't think I'll be able to go if it is the 20th, and that will just kill me. Yeah, I'll be so disappointed if that's the case. I've done something wrong. I'm going to start this build again. No, it will be a Thursday or it's either a Thursday or a Friday. You're obviously a big fan of railroad trains then, presumably. I don't really get a huge amount of exposure to steam anymore, especially not sort of where I am. There is... Oh, golly, yes, that's back to school. Oh, that sucks. I know, that's half the problem for me. My sister, whom I work with, her son is starting primary school that day, and obviously I entirely understand why she wants to be there to take him to school, which means, what the heck am I doing here? Yeah, which means I wouldn't be able to go if it's on the Thursday, so I'm really hoping it's on the Friday, but obviously that's no real consolation or anything to you, I suppose. I have no idea what I'm doing here. I'm really struggling with this. Oh yeah, I totally understand that. I definitely get that. I know, definitely with electric cars, that is absolutely one of the, there we go, I think we're sort of now. Yeah, one of the things that I just can't quite get used to is the lack of noise. And there's something like steam trains are amazing. I have to say I do love steam trains. But yeah, obviously they're not very well represented by Lego. which is a bit unfortunate. I suppose you could get a nice big diesel locomotive. Ironically, I actually live out in the country, and one of the things I most enjoy about it is the lack of noise. But that's kind of more from a, just nice quiet mornings. You can hear the birds, you can hear the trees, you can hear all that kind of stuff, But yeah, I know where you're coming from. I totally get it. Well, I think certainly on the train front, electric's going to win out anyway, isn't it? So that's maybe something we're just going to have to suck up. But I don't think electric cars are quite there yet, are they? Yeah, and then they'll just be pumping out artificial noise. It's kind of a bit like, I suppose it's a bit like, the electric cars that sort of pump out sort of that sound to replicate engine revving and stuff, even though it's not happening. It's just doesn't really hit the same, does it? Temperatures, I don't know. I wouldn't want to put my money on it. I'm pretty sure Dublin opened on a Friday. I guess they'll want to be open before Saturday because Saturday will be such a busy day. So they'll want to have the shop open and sort of get that initial buzz out of the way, and then Saturday can just do its thing. But like, don't quote me on that. I don't know. I don't know specifically if that's the date. Like I said, all I know is that the preview evening is the Wednesday evening. So I'm just presuming that the store will then open either the preceding or the second from day, but I don't know. Through a Lego user group that I'm in, and they got notification from the Lego PR team to say sort of when the preview evening was. Nothing more than that though, and they're not very good at disclosing information. Actually, when I was over in Manchester, I was at the Lego store in the Trafford Centre, and the manager of that store, actually, was talking to him for a little while, and he is hoping to come over to the Belfast store opening. But as you would expect, I don't know how much information he actually knew, but he wouldn't tell me much anyway. He was very sort of discreet about it all. So, but then that's just the way they operate, isn't it? They don't really want to give too much away. How are you getting on with your Snow White build? To be honest, as well, like it's obviously it's great to be there for the opening. The only reason I really want to be there is because I want to get the Belfast store tile, which I don't know exists, but they always do something like that for store openings. So I really want that, and I'd be gutted if I missed out on that. So I'm sort of just gonna have to try and work out how to make that happen. I can't show you anything now. Nancy on the grounds that I'm not in my Lego room. Like I said, the only retro set I have is a Metroliner, 7998 set number maybe, which I think is from 1991. So it's not like super retro, but it's the oldest set I have in my collection now. And as I said before, it's also my favourite. But I think that's more nostalgic than anything else. Brickers, you would need to either be active in a local group, a local user group, or try and find out who the new PR team are for Lego and reach out to them. I don't know who it is, and in fact I know when I was speaking to the guy that runs the Lego user group that I'm in, he didn't even realise that Lego had a new PR team, so he was having to go and do a bit of digging and whatnot to find out who that is. Yeah, that would be a bit of a killer, especially if it was an important piece. That's one of the big issues I have with the Emerald Knight. Granted, it's not a retro set, but obviously it's depicting, a steam locomotive. Or I suppose it's very much akin to the Flying Scotsman if you wanted to really get specific with it. And I would love to have built a few additional passenger carriages for it. However, I'm a bit of a stickler for doing things, exactly as they should be. And unfortunately, the window pieces that they used in the carriages for that set were only available in that set. And obviously now that it's retired, they're impossible to get hold of, and thus are super expensive in the secondary market. So I think it works out maybe about, I know this probably doesn't seem like much, but I think it works out about £10 per window piece, and it's just like I know they're 4x3 in light tan, but they've got kind of a slightly broader panel, and yeah, they now cost about £10 a pop, and I think there's at least, you sort of need at least 8 windows per carriage, so you're talking £80 just to put windows in the carriage, which just a bit much to me. They do have like light tan window frames that you can get, however they're like a thinner panel and they just don't quite hit the same. I have got them, I have additional coaches and I done it that way, but it just doesn't sort of resonate the same way. The only problem with sealed boxes is I never want to open them. I actually sort of had got myself into sort of this mindset where I would buy a sealed box to keep it sealed, and then I would have to try and find the same set already open so that I could build it, which is just stupid really. Well, maybe it isn't, I don't know. It's just a lot of money just for one set to build and one to hold on to, but I suppose maybe at some point in the future times get hard and you're sitting on a nice little investment and it kind of works out for you in that way, so maybe it's not all bad. Do you have any retro Lego yourself? Or do you collect Lego, or? I know there's some like really, really cool old sort of city sets, and there is it, I don't know if you've come across, what's her name? Bricks and Giggles. And she is a huge fan of sort of older Lego, and she's currently adding one set a day to her kind of Lego setting, and it's all kind of retro Lego from everything you could possibly imagine. It's quite cool to sort of watch it and see it all. They're not necessarily sets that I particularly want myself, but there is absolutely still a demand for all that kind of stuff. Yeah, Richard, you might have to probably be sicky that day and forget about hospital, because you can't go missing. You can't go missing out on the Belfast Lego store opening. That would just be criminal, especially as such a big local Lego fan and whatnot. Right, we're getting on good here. I've almost finished these bags. I don't know if I'll do any more or not. I'll see what size the next bags are, but I only wanted to jump on for a wee sort of quick session tonight. I'm just sort of very keen to keep building this here. I want to get it sort of up and completed in the room. There's always a secondary market. You just might have to pay a little bit more for them. did you have a collection when you were young and no longer have it? Like I know I did have a lot of Lego when I was younger. I had some, but again I was born in '83, so you know by the time I'd have been collecting it, we're into the '90s really, or not collecting, you know what I mean. So they're kind of starting to modernize a little bit. There's a lot more sort of elements and colors and whatnot by that stage. But like I said, I don't know. I guess like I said, we're all a wee bit different, and I sort of just really took to some of the detail in your builds and really enjoyed them. So a lot of the sort of older sets just didn't quite fit for me. And I don't know. I do have quite a few 4-wide vehicles, which are probably a bit more akin to older sets, but again, they just don't kind of fit in with the idea of what I want to do. So I'm probably gonna have to clear them all out too. I don't have to, but I will do, because again, I just want to try and realise a wee bit of money. I'm sort of trying to slim down my collection a little bit. When it comes to Lego, it's very, very easy to get carried away, and I've made a mistake, or I'm missing a piece. I've definitely made a mistake. I've got a white 2x1 here that shouldn't be, and I'm missing a tan one. So worry about on that. I'm hoping that it's under the coffee machine. Right, bear with me, I just need to flip back through these. It's not, oh dang, what have I done? Right, I've ballsed up somewhere. Sorry folks, just bear with me 1 second. I'm just trying to find a mistake. Either that or I've been supplying the wrong bricks. Which would be highly unusual, but it does happen. I don't know. I'm not sure where it goes from here, to be honest. I suppose a bit like everything, it's hard to kind of picture what's around the corner until it kind of happens upon you, isn't it? Right, something's not quite right here, and I don't really know how to fix it. I can't see anything wrong in the build itself, but I have a piece here that I shouldn't have, and I'm missing the piece that I should. Oh, here I have another one. What have I done? What have I done? I'm going to have to go back to the start of this bag and kind of go through it again, because I've missed something else as well here. Right. In case anyone's just tuning in, folks, I'm just working on a Bricklink Designer program set from, it was maybe last year, the year before. It's 910034. It's the brick cross station. So it's yeah, it's a cool set. It's not retro, but it's good. So I've just kind of finished bag 10, but I've got pieces left over that I absolutely should not have left over, and that's what I've done. It's okay, we're all good. I think I've worked it out. I think I've worked it out. I'm not sure that I actually have. Welcome back on again. I'm in a state of turmoil here. I've done something wrong. Right, okay, it's fine. I've worked it out. No, it's not a missing piece. I've just messed up. But we're all good, I think. I forgot to put this part in, which means that goes there. It does still mean that I have one I don't mind where that goes to. Right, we're good. All good. Right, so we can move on. So I don't know, I'll maybe, I'll have a look here at bag 11 and see how much there is to it. I can maybe, it's only one bag, so I'll carry on. We'll do one more bag here and then that'll wrap us up for tonight. I suppose one of the other things, a lot of what was once retro is being re-released. And you know what? I'm going to sort of completely contradict something. Yes, of course I can. Right, okay. Right, so here's what we're up to then. Let me just see how this looks on the camera. So we've pretty much finished all of the ground floor. And we're just sort of starting in this little kitchen above the brick shop. So I think the kitchen, believe it or not, belongs to, so that's just the platform then. And then yeah, so I think the kitchen belongs to this little restaurant over here. So it's it's a bit of a way away from you know, where the customers would be, but there's a little walkway then across the front here as well. So, and then oh, there's one of the figures away, and then there's just a wee look at the inside as well. Then, so you can see we've added the gates and the doors in, and that's the only sort of interior details that we've done at this stage. No, and I hate to break it to you, but that's only the start. It's a crazily obsessive and expensive hobby. Now I can't imagine I had anywhere near as much as that when I was your age, but then it's a wee bit relative. I suppose everyone's a little bit cheaper then, and there's definitely way more Lego now than there was then. But yeah, you just gotta work hard. You just gotta work hard to keep buying it and enjoying it. At the end of the day, I don't think the cost is as much of a concern as long as you know it's within your budget and you enjoy it. Where will you place it after completion? Do you have a nice place? So, no, not really. So, I have a garage separate to my house, and above the garage, I have my what's officially my Lego room. So I'm just building in my study here at the minute. I just find it a bit easier to work in here. Plus, the internet's really bad in the garage. And I so that the Lego room is going to be a layout. It's like 26 square meters, and I'm going to have a layout run around the entire circumference of it. I kind of I've sort of envisaged one big central table should be like a city, which will have like a central sort of terminus station, and that'll be the centre point of everything that's going on. That'll be where the big buildings are and all that. And then I want to have lots of little areas kind of dotted around. Now, maybe being a wee bit grand with my plans, but if you actually go back to my very first intro video, I do give a wee bit of an outline in there. So if you do want more details, you can go and check it out. But basically, I want to have lots of little areas. And I kind of envisage this station being, I don't know, maybe part of like a slightly smaller town or something. I don't know. I have like a rail yard in the corner, and I have like an old train shed there, sort of built in place, and then this will kind of feature somewhere. So I want to have like 3 or 4 stations littered throughout, and just want to kind of create like a whole network. So we'll see. I do have most of my Lego, funnily enough, in a glass cabinet at the minute, but that's just temporary. It will be coming out, and it will find a proper home soon. But that's my plan anyway. Now, like I said, whether it actually all happens the way I want it to remains to be seen, because best laid plans and all that, but and that's certainly kind of how I envisage things working out. I still don't have all my tables in, but my father is a joiner, and I'm just kind of waiting on him to I've got a load of wood ordered, and I'm kind of waiting on him to come and build the tables for me. So, and I'm missing a bag, believe it or not. I'm missing one bag of 11. There it is. 3 times 300 yeah, the big sets take up so much money there, don't they? But they're just kind of must-haves, really. Have you been buying them yourself or getting them as presents? Can I actually just mute? I should keep the instructions after that. Here, I'm one of those funny people that keeps boxes, instructions, bags, everything. I'm just a real stickler for holding on to everything. Like I know a lot of people don't even care much at all for the physical instructions anymore, and are happy enough with the digital ones. But it just doesn't work for me. I don't care much for the digital instructions, and I'm really struggling to build this set because they only come with digital. They don't come with physical instructions. I could print them out, I suppose, but no, I love to keep everything. I have all my instructions in little organizers. Or not organizers, it's like in little files, sort of by set number, and then I have all my boxes sort of stored away in my root space as well. So it's maybe a bit overkill, but we do what we do, don't we? Britters, open hours are on the page. Oh, cool. That's good news. Yeah, well, there is always the option to go later, 100%, and you'll just miss that kind of opening morning buzz, won't you? But you know, it's not everything at the end of the day. My only fear would be that they'll have run out of the sort of gifts you get for opening day purchase and stuff like that. But they mightn't have, like, I don't know. I can't remember how long things lasted in Dublin. So, you know, it would just be nice to get down, I suppose. I like Star Wars. I enjoy it. I'm like, you could ask me a lot of questions and I won't be able to give you the answers. But I've always been a fan of it. I especially like a lot of the sort of newer series and stuff as well. I enjoy movies. I don't overthink movies, you know, so I suppose what a lot of people think is rubbish, I'll still enjoy it. And I know there's a lot of people have sort of this and that to say about the various Star Wars movies, but I can enjoy them all. I haven't, no, but I have done a lot of extras work. I'm part of like I'm part of sorry, I've lost my stickers. Yeah, I'm part of an extras agency, so I get bits and pieces of work, and there is a lot of stuff recorded in Northern Ireland, especially at the minute. So I haven't done any Star Wars, but I don't know if you've seen. Sorry, I need to stop and concentrate for 1 second whilst I put this sticker on because I hate stickers. Okay, I'm happy enough with that. That's not too bad. Yeah, so I've done bits of extras work, and I have come across. I have sort of worked alongside Nicole Kidman and Willem Dafoe and what do you call your dude from Training Day? Oh, his name escapes me. So this was all on the set of The Northman, which is really cool. So I really enjoyed that. But no, I've not met anyone from any Star Wars movies. Qui-Gon Jinn stunt double, which was good. I got a lightsaber that he's saying, oh, that's wicked. I bet it'll be worth a penny or two at some point. That's a nice thing to have though. You should keep this up. Maybe come across some nice sets. Look, I have an absolute mountain of sets to get through. I'll probably not live build them all because it would just take too long. I've never get them built. But there's definitely some really cool stuff there. So definitely keep an eye for future. I don't know what I'm going to do next. Like I said, I want to do a wee series where for every new subscriber I get, I'll add a brick to a set and have 3 sets to choose from. So now there's maybe one that would set me appeal to. It's the medieval town square. So it's not a retro set, but I suppose it's a take on a retro set. Just fully modernized. And where did you meet him, Anakin? And how did that come about? Yeah, to be honest with you, I'm really, really crap when it comes to recognizing people. So someone could walk past me in the street, someone incredibly famous, and I wouldn't even have a clue who had just walked past me. Ethan Hawke, that's what you call the other guy. He was lovely. Nicole Kidman was really nice as well, actually. Oh, you from Rochdale? That's cool. I actually was very close to you recently. I was in Manchester last week. 2 weeks ago? Last week? I can't, well, fairly recently. I lived in Manchester for quite some time, so I'm reasonably familiar with the area. Absolutely love Manchester too. Miss it so much. But times change. Ah, crap. Oh, no, right. Probably made a mistake again, but I'm not very good at this multitasking. Very typical man. Corner brick. So the second floor is kind of, well, it's not taking shape yet, but we're starting to build it up next. That's kind of what we're working on now. So that's quite good. So what have we got here? Two and one. Oh man, it's the it's the piece in the bag that kills me most, and it happens way too much. You'll be sitting there looking for a piece for ages. Funny, I was saying earlier that my wife is building the Winnie the Pooh set, 100 Acre Woods. However, it was I bought it off Facebook Marketplace, so it was already built previously and then broken back down again. And now she wouldn't be the most accomplished builder in the world. I don't mean that disrespectfully. And it's just that wee bit harder for her as well because all the bags are open and all the bricks are kind of oh, hi Olivia, how are you? All the bricks are all in together, and yeah, there's a lot of like sort of light nougat, dark nougat, the two different tans, some sort of light brown stuff, just really struggling with the colour. So it's it was quite fun, quite fun to watch her struggle. But yeah, that missing piece happens all too often. And yeah, for me, it's nearly always just sitting, staring at you from the bag that you tipped everything else out of. I suppose one of the other things is a lot of the sets are so big now that there's just so many pieces in them. Oh, that's cool. So that's a wee cooker hood then. Oh, you actually had lost a piece yourself. Sorry, I thought you were just speaking generally. Are you building at the minute? you're a plonker, Olivia. Building a brick cross train station. Alright, we're getting through this nicely now, so we should be finished up very soon. I'm only joking. I'm only kidding you. It's great to have you. tuning in. Very, very much appreciate it. Guys, anyone just joining the stream, I am finishing up fairly soon, and this is the last vlog I'm doing tonight. But we're just building the Brickcross train station 910034, and that's from the Bricklink Designer Program Series 2. So we are getting through it nicely. Just about halfway through, so we finished most of the ground floor, and we're just sort of working our way now up into the sort of side walls and the top floor. So really cool set, highly recommend. I know they're not available to purchase anymore, but they are available in the secondary market, and I don't think they necessarily sort of go for much more than what they were when they first come out. So you know, if you like the look of it and you're thinking that's a cool set, then that's the details anyway, and that's how you could go about getting one. Sandman figure is so cool in this set. All the figures are cool in this set, to be honest. But yeah, Sandman one does look pretty neat. Like I say, I haven't quite built it yet, but I've seen so many people sort of review it and build it and stuff, and I don't really know how I'll work with him though. I was wondering if maybe I should have like a little superhero section even within my layout, where you know I'd maybe stick some of the sort of more superhero based sets, and then I can have the characters kind of dotted around. But I'm not sure. I haven't quite decided on that one yet. It doesn't necessarily fit in with kind of the theme that I'm going to go for in my layout, but you know, I'll have them. It would seem a shame not to use them in some way or another, so we'll see. But yeah, he looks really cool. I like just the way he's built up. Sort of as though he is literally coming out of the ground of sound. Funny, I did actually look at that set recently, and I contemplated building it, but I sort of want to focus on these kind of more train related sets at the minute, because that's how I'm going to start my layout with the trains and stuff. So I've kind of decided to focus on these for now. Wait until you have children. I know you're some way off that, like, but that's my biggest pet hate is minifigures being changed or moved or taken apart and stuff like that. I have two younger girls, and sort of while we were in between houses, we were living with my parents for a little while, and we would sort of create little layouts in the floor, and I would let the girls kind of play with them, but they just were obsessed with, you know, changing the minifigures' clothes or changing their heads or changing their hairs, and that was just torture for me. Is that for me? Thank you. Speaking of my daughter, she's just brought me a cup of coffee, which is really nice. Thank you. I reckon you'll appreciate this cup. I just want to be careful because I don't want to spill the coffee over everything, because I've got my computer and all here, but there you go. R2 in all his glory. But yeah, they were obsessed with farting around with the minifigures. It just tormented me so much. Yeah, no, the minifigures, like, I'm entirely guilty of having bought sets purely for the minifigures. Sometimes I kind of justify purchasing a set by selling off the figures. Kind of just depends really. Sometimes I want the set and I will want the figures as well, but you know, if there's some in there that you're not interested in, it's a nice way to just kind of just offset the costs a wee bit, isn't it? Right, we're almost done. Just a few pieces left to go. Yeah, I do love R2. Again, if you watch back through any of my videos, you will see a couple of R2s unboxed already, I think. Not built, and I'm unsure as to whether or not they will ever get built. But yeah, R2's class. funny enough, my mum was a Star Wars fan, and that's not a huge fan, but she always really enjoyed it. So I kind of watched it as a result of her having an interest. You know what I mean? So. What I had actually done, because I really enjoy the Mandalorian series, and like I said, one of the sort of biggest, it would have been the original trilogy. That's what we'd have watched back then. And that, to be honest, they're still my favourites. I know sort of as time goes by and everything gets more modern and more nice, they look more and more dated, but they're class. But yeah, one of my biggest issues, like I say, is once I start buying a theme, then I kind of want to get everything. And I love The Mandalorian, as I think a lot of people do. And they started releasing a few Mandalorian sets. I think the first one was maybe the Grogu set, not the more recent one with him in the hovercraft, but sort of the original Grogu set. And I thought, you know what, this might be a small sub theme, I could maybe get onto that. So I started buying a few Mandalorian sets, but then they just kept rinsing it, and there's just so many sets come out, and I've just kind of had to stop. So I don't know if I'll actually continue with them or not, but we'll see. Sorry, I just need to take a drink. Clone Wars is good. I wouldn't be heavily into it. I started watching it sort of a bit sort of later. I don't know, I've done something wrong again. Yeah. And I actually started really enjoying it. Once I started watching it. But I was just a wee bit sort of behind with it. And I'm not sort of massively good with all of the lore and stuff as well, so like a lot of it just kind of gets lost with me. But I think initially I was put off because it was animated and I just thought it was a cartoon for kids. But it was actually really good once you kind of watch it. I really like the Bad Batch actually. I quite enjoyed it. But like I've seen most of. I haven't watched the second season of Andor yet. I kind of need to watch that. But what have I done wrong here? But yeah, like I just enjoy TV. I enjoy sort of entertainment. So you know, if it's even semi good, I'll get some sort of pleasure out of watching it. Do you have any of they have released sort of Clone Wars based sets, haven't they? Quite a few of them. Do you have any of those? Do you collect them, or is there like any particular Star Wars Lego that you sort of are most keen on collecting or getting, or do you just sort of enjoy picking them? I haven't seen the second one yet, although I've heard it's fantastic. However, the first Andor I really enjoyed. Really enjoyed it. And yeah, like I said, I've heard the second series is very good as well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to watching that. In fact, that's probably the only reason that I keep, well, one of the few reasons that I keep Disney Plus on at the minute is because I still have to watch that. Oh yeah, it really is. It's pretty fantastic, but I think my issue with a lot of those Star Wars ships is they're just big red ships, really, aren't they? And I know that's just how they're represented, but I don't know, I've got a few. I've got the Justifier, and I have not the UCS one, but the older what do you call it? From the Mandalorian. Oh, my head's a mess. I'm so tired. You'll tell me, you know what I'm talking about. So I have those ships, and like I said, I do have what do you call it? Mos Eisley, the newer one. But aside that, I don't have much interest in collecting anything more than that. And even at that, it's probably, there's a good chance I'll probably never build any of them. Like I said, I just got a wee bit caught up in the Mandalorian whenever I come out, and I just sort of felt compelled to pick up a few bits and pieces. Sort of in the hope that it wouldn't become another sort of big sort of Star Wars sub theme, but it has done, which is great obviously for fans, but it's just a bit much for me. I buy so much Lego that I kind of have to be a bit more selective on the themes that I go for now. Right, that's us pretty much finished, I think. Ah, crud, I don't know, I haven't. We're alright. I thought I'd missed a piece of game, but I haven't. Thank goodness. And there we go. That's the last piece that I am doing tonight, so we've been on here for a good while, nearly an hour and a half, so that's good. I've got a few bags done, so I feel we're pretty happy with my progress. Not really much to show actually from the last time I held this up actually. I've just been sort of adding to this little kitchen section here. So you can see there we've just added in the little cooker in the hood, and then there's a coffee machine and a sink and stuff like that there. And sorry, the lighting's not great there. And then we've just started building up the wall as well, and you can see from the inside of the station just that wall up there, and then the little entrance into the little shop on the side. But yeah, that's cool. Really happy with that. Nice to get a wee bit more progress made. And we'll get a wee bit more of that done then. Sort of the next time we tune in anyway. And just as a wee reminder for anyone that's quickly popped in, we're just building the Bricklink Design Program set 910034. So it's from Series 2, and it's the Brick Cross Station by Marcus Garavelli. So just doing a wee sort of series where I work my way through these. So if you want to stay up with the progress, then you know, by all means drop us a wee subscribe and keep an eye out for future lives. I'm going to build this entirely live. So if you want to see how that's coming on, then make sure to subscribe and stay tuned. Also, I've got a little series that I'm about to start, where I'm gonna, for every new subscriber I get, I'm gonna build a set, one brick for one subscriber. So the more people that sub and the more interest we get, the quicker that build will happen. I have a short up at the minute. If you want to have a little look, there's 3 different sets that I'm choosing from, 3 different themes, all very interesting, all very cool. So if you want to have any say in what we're going to be building, then head over there and drop a wee comment down to let us know. That's got to be tough, and I feel your pain. I'm not colorblind. Excuse me, I'm not colorblind, and between all the different tans and nougats and this, that, and the other, I sometimes struggle a little bit as well. So fair play. And having just got that diagnosis, I'm sure you're relieved to have it, because you maybe understand why you're struggling a little bit more. But yeah, good luck with that. Lego's hard enough, especially with all that different grey in your Star Wars sets. And it's hard enough when you can't see coloured perfectly well, never mind when you can't. So green piece on a brown desk, I think it was brown. Good luck. But yeah, thank you very much for tuning in. Thanks for the chat. I'll maybe try and sort of live up again at some point next weekend if I have the time, and we'll carry on this build a little bit more, and I hope you can tune in. Remember guys, subscribe and hit the bell icon if you want to know when it's going to go live again. Thank you very much. Have a good evening everyone. See you guys.